Hello again and happy Monday. I'm actually recording this to you guys last Tuesday and it is freaking snowing again. What the heck? Minnesota. Fun fact about Neil and I's house, we bought this about a year and a half ago and the yard was like an actual jungle. And last summer we spent the whole summer like clearing it out. We had landscapers come in. That's why our whole yard is like dirt. They're coming back this spring to lay sod and do all this stuff, so that's something to look forward to. But stop snowing! Gah. Anyway, happy Monday. The FRQs that you took last Friday should be done. And by done, I mean like I should be done grading them within the next day or two. Please note that this first FRQ, as I've said time and time again, was not timed. You are able to use your notes. The intent behind that is that you're getting comfortable with the format. You know what to expect so that when next Wednesday rolls around and your chapter 2 and 3 FRQ is due, you're not worried about like the format and what exactly I'm expecting. Instead, you're focused on the content because these FRQs that you're taking throughout the rest of the term are your summative assessment. They're my way of seeing like, okay, you've done all the lectures, you've gotten all the content. Do you know it? Can you apply it? So this is like your test. So they will be timed. You won't have the same amount of time to like look stuff up or check your answers. You're gonna have to be able to recall content from your mind to answer the question in the given amount of time. So just recognize that that will be the case here moving forward. Again, I'll have your chapter 1 FRQs graded in the next day or two. If you have questions about how it went or what my expectations are, or whatever, in preparation for this next FRQ, feel free to hop on our office hours on Wednesday and Thursday at 11. You can just pop on. We can have a quick conversation, or you can shoot me an email. We can set up our own individual Zoom meeting, whatever you need to make sure that you are in fact prepared for next Wednesday's summative FRQ. With that said, we are starting chapter 2 today. Today's lecture or lesson is a little bit different than what you saw last week in that I am not going to be lecturing today. You are actually going to be working through a psych simulation, which kind of gives you definitions. It shows you animations. It asks you questions along the way. It's an interactive kind of platform because today you're learning about neural communication. So you're learning about the building blocks of neurons, or the building blocks of the brain, and that is the neuron, right? How do we touch something on our fingertips and perceive that as touch in our brain? Like, how does that work? How do we transfer signals? Whoa. All over the place in our bodies, right? That's what we're getting at. And so this platform is really helpful in helping you visualize what that actually looks like. This is your content, right? Just because I'm not lecturing and it's not my voice that you're reading, doesn't mean that you don't need to know it. In fact, I actually just went through and took my own notes just to make sure that I'm feeling like I have the same sense of what you guys went through. Expect this to take you about 45 minutes. It might go quicker for some. It might take a little bit longer for some. But just recognize that it should take you about 45 minutes to work through, take notes on, and yeah. With that, as I did just work through it, I want to note a couple of things. You do not need to be able to explicitly explain the chemistry of an axon. So chapters, or like once you hop on the psych sim, it's like pages or like slides that you work through. Do not take notes on slides 14 through 25. I repeat, write this down. Do not take notes on slides 14 through 25. Okay, I want you to read them to get a sense of like what is going on chemically speaking. You will not need to be able to articulate that. You will need to be able to recognize the difference between polarization and depolarization and what that means, like big picture for the neurons, but you won't need to know like the nitty gritty of like the axon membrane changing from polarization or polarized to depolarized during that action potential. Okay, so pages, slides 14 through 25, don't take notes on. Read them, work through them, but you will not need to be able to reproduce that information. The other piece, they talk about neurotransmitters when they're talking about transmissions through the synaptic the transmissions through the synaptic gap. Tomorrow we are going to be talking about specific neurotransmitters and how they work. We're going to do a fun activity tomorrow with music and neurotransmitters and stuff. So just note that you'll get more on that tomorrow. Okay, again, this should take you about 45 minutes to work through. I just wanted to hop on and give you a little intro and so that you know what to expect. At the end of your lesson, once you get all the content, you actually get to do a creative kind of fun activity in which you are building your own neuron, and you can do that in whatever way you want. On Canvas, it's the creative neuron discussion post, just like we did last Monday where you drew your hand and whatever and you uploaded a picture of it. You're going to do the same thing for this neuron discussion post. I want you to get outside. I want you to get up and moving. I want you to like collect stuff or like let your creative juices out. Do a little bit of active rest in the sense of like you're applying the terms and you're defining these different parts of the neuron, but you're doing so in a fun way. Maybe you're collecting nature things from outside and putting them together. Maybe you're drawing it in chalk. Maybe you're collecting household appliances to build a neuron. Like whatever you want to do it. You're going to label the parts of the neuron. You're going to upload a picture to that discussion post. And like I said, you're going to respond to just a couple of people. Again, I know that being on this e-learning platform, it's not like ideal and it's hard to connect, but we're going to do our best, and so we can share kind of the neurons that we created with each other and kind of respond back and forth. If you have questions, feel free to email me. Again, you're doing the psych sim, and then you're creating your own neuron and uploading that to the neuron discussion post, okay? Have a great day. Happy Monday.